Greetings all, the One Nerd here again. I hope you all enjoyed the little deviation to horror that we had with the last review. But thanks to another release from Shout Factory, we're jumping right back into the world of Power Rangers, with Turbo, a Power Rangers movie.
It's time to power up. The world's most famous action force is back on the big screen. With a secret weapon.
I'm the new Blue Ranger!
What are you talking about?
Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, was released on March 28th, 1997 from 20th Century Fox. Unlike the Mighty Morphin movie, Turbo actually fits in the continuity of the show's universe, and is in fact the catalyst to Power Rangers Turbo. This movie serves as sort of a gap between the seasons of Power Rangers Zeo and Power Rangers Turbo. I can't really say why Fox thought that Turbo deserved the movie treatment, because it's a big thing with cars, people like cars, they could have predicted the whole Fast and Furious trend. By this time, I had actually fallen out of Power Rangers fandom as a kid, mostly because of the endless ridicule and teasing that I got for still being a Power Rangers fan at my age. So if I'm being honest, this is actually my first time experiencing this movie, actually watching it fully. So let's not waste any more time and jump right into Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. We start the movie with the return of the exposition crawl, now with more Star Wars. It tells us about a wizard named Larigo, hunted by a space pirate named Divatox, who wants to marry him so that she can gain access to the Golden Key and free a demon-like creature. I swear to God, I did not mean that to sound as dirty as it sounded. I just have a gift or something. We cut to Larigo's home planet to see him being hunted by Divatox's forces. Hey, look, it's little Bigfoot. Good to see him getting back on his feet after that whole public masturbation fiasco.
No, make more like the masturbation face. There you go.
Divatox's forces have him cornered, but Larigo is able to escape and make his way to Earth. Why he couldn't just do that from the start is a sort of mystery, but we gotta fill an hour and 40 minutes somehow. Speaking of Earth, we head down to see what the current team is up to. Since this is currently following the team from Zeo, we have Tommy, Red, Adam, Green, and Rocky, Blue, training for what looks like a martial arts competition. Meanwhile, Tanya, Yellow, and Kat, Pink, are riding with a group of kids on their way to said training. On the bus, we see some kid not really into singing with everyone else.
Come on, Justin, I know you know the words. I don't feel like singing.
But I'm sure he's not important to the story in any way. Back at the training, Tommy, Adam, and Rocky seem to be having some issues.
Rocky, get back in there. Let's go. All right. Watch your form. Get in there. Get in there. Watch your hand. Come on. Adam, get in there. All right. Get in there.
The issue here, I think, is that the Rangers are just not listening to their trainer. He keeps telling them to get in there, and they're not getting in there.
Spinning heel kick my hand. No, now look, you're trying too hard.
What you need to be doing is getting in there. Now get in there, damn it! Rocky, more frustrated, fails so hard he breaks the laws of physics. Damn it, Rocky, I told you to get in there, and you went and got yourself out of there. You're off the team. Rocky is carted off, and that random kid from before, who is wearing blue just like Rocky for some reason, is really upset by this. But yeah, I'm sure that's not relevant. Meanwhile, in a giant bath toy, we finally get our first glimpse of Divatox. That's Divatox? And she wants to marry that deformed Ewok? I mean, could do worse if you ask me. Still, Divatox is upset because her minions had let Larigo escape. Her main subordinates are Elgar and Rygog. Bit of trivia, in the original Sentai Turbo is based on, Rygog is actually the main villain, which kind of fits looking at his design. Speaking of, Turbo actually did a pretty good job translating these two from their Sentai versions. Let's actually take a look at Divatox's counterpart. Well, I guess Divatox is a adequate substitute, I suppose. Divatox details her plan to capture Larigo by stealing something he cares about. While on Earth, Larigo has some wacky shenanigans with wildlife while somehow avoiding capture. I will say, while a bit creepy, the animatronic work for Larago is pretty amazing, even by today's standards, where he would more than likely just be a CG abomination, as opposed to now where he is an abomination that really exists. Maybe a CG effect would have been better. While Larago continues to frolic, that same kid from before comes to visit Rocky in the hospital. Seriously, who is this kid? Okay, the movie has not indicated any kind of relationship between him and the team. Is he a fan of Rocky? Is he related to him somehow? Is that Rocky's kid? Before the kid, whose name is Justin by the way, can talk to Rocky, the rest of the Rangers come in to visit, which causes Justin to hide under the bed for some reason. Well, case closed. Justin is a stalker. In a massive exposition dump, we find out that this competition they were training for had a prize, the money for which was going to be used to save a failing shelter that Justin goes to. But now that Rocky is injured, they will be less likely to win. Wait, hold on a second. Is this a men's only martial arts tournament? Problem solved. Just sue him for discrimination and get the money that way. That's the 2019 way. Suddenly, the team is contacted by Zordon to come to the command center, so the Rangers teleport away.
Ow! Who's there? Justin? Did you just hear all that?
And what were you doing under my bed?
You guys are the Power Rangers?
Answer the question, Justin. What were you doing under my bed? At the command center, Zordon and Alpha inform the Rangers of Larago, and that he cannot survive for much longer in the sun, so he has to be found. One would ask why he would come to a planet and a continent where his weakness is so prominent, but hey, people still consider Signs to be a classic. Tommy and Kat head off to Africa to find Larago before it's too late.
Equip yourselves with the power boxes and teleport there immediately.
Right.
Power boxes in stores now! Back in Africa, Larago gets acquainted with the local wildlife. Hey, just be thankful that all he threw was a rock. Meanwhile, Divatox's crew discovers Larago's location, somehow.
Once we are wed, I will use his powers to raid all the riches of the universe. Ooh, thinking about it just gives me goosebumps.
Kinda gives me gas.
I mean, this is a kid's movie after all. I would kind of prefer this over jokes about stimulating a bull. Before heading after him, Divatox charges Elgar with capturing 2 humans of purity and strength. This is both used as an opportunity for a side story, and it's also apparently part of the summoning ritual for the real bad guy, Malagor, who Divatox is trying to summon with Larago's key. We're seriously 15 minutes into this movie, and it's already gotten so complicated. We then cut to a baseball game, for some reason, to find...
Hey, hold it. What do you got there?
Oh, thank God. Bulk and Skull, they'll save this movie. Bulk and Skull are working security at a baseball stadium now, but they are getting a new assignment.
Precisely at 1900 hours, you will relieve me of my duties at the International Dance-a-thon. Do I make myself clear?
Got it, sir.
Yes, sir!
Yeah. Thank you.
That was great. That was really great. All right. Let's get back to whatever the hell this movie's about. Tommy and Kat arrive in Central Africa to track Larago.
Wow. Reminds me of parts of Australia.
Yep. Lots of places have forests, Kat. On their way to the next security gig, Bulk and Skull are pursued by a UFO.
Slow down, man. I'm trying. Still, there's a building up ahead. Oh.
Well, thank God they didn't damage the old smelly bait. I'm sure they'll be fine. Back in Africa, Tommy and Kat continue to track Larago.
Got him. The signal's coming from that direction.
How can you possibly get any sense of direction or distance on that thing? It's amazing how shows like this never imagined that screens would be any bigger than a postage stamp.
You okay?
Yeah, it's just hot out here.
I know.
Whew, reminds me of the heat in Australia.
Want some water?
Look at the size of that water. That thing could barely hydrate you during a walk to the store on a mildly hot day, let alone trekking through Central Africa. Look at him drink out of it like there's even anything left in it. While resting, a snake sneaks up on Kat, and Tommy helps save her.
Jump away. 1, 2, 3.
Jeez, what is it with this team and overshooting their jumps? They have been the biggest cause of tension in this movie so far. This is just like the cliffs back in Australia! Kat and Tommy struggle with their respective problems, but the branch supporting Kat breaks and she attempts to morph. I'm not sure what that was supposed to accomplish, but it's good to see a ranger suit in this movie now that oh my god, we're 20 minutes into this movie. Tommy is finally able to break free of the snake and dives in after Kat. The Mighty Morphin movie had the team jumping out of a plane in the first 5 minutes. This has a ride down a slightly choppy river. Eventually, Tommy is able to catch up with Kat and get her in a life preserver, although she seems perfectly fine to float now without it. Shortly after, they are finally able to locate Larigo and rescue him from his chimp captors. All the while, Elgar presents Bulkin's skull to Divatox.
Yeah, check them out. I even scrambled their brains so they'd be easier to deal with. Ta-da! What do you think?
Are you out of your mind?
She is not impressed. Luckily, 2 new humans just so happen to be scuba diving near them, so Divatox orders their capture. Not too sure why these 2 random humans are better than Bulk and Skull, but whatever. Back at the command center, Larigo is recovering from his time outside when they receive a transmission from Divatox. She informs them that she has kidnapped Larigo's wife and kid off-screen, and she demands a trade.
Say hello to Larigo's family. Yara, loving wife, and caring mother to little baby Batel.
And if that wasn't bad enough, turns out the 2 scuba divers she kidnapped were none other than former Rangers Kimberly and Jason.
Kimberly.
Dude is gonna be pissed that his girl was diving with another man. Larigo is prepared to surrender himself, and though they have reservations, the Rangers decide to accompany him to save their former teammates.
Look, there they are.
Warriors, let's ride!
This is the most extreme villain group so far in Power Rangers. I mean, honestly, maybe the putties would have been more effective if they were on jet skis.
Send Larigo down!
No! Bring Umbrus closer first!
You have no choice, humans! This is as close as you get! Now send the wizard down!
Even though we're 30 minutes into this movie, and at this point there have been no fights and only a partial morph, the movie can still honestly have its moments. I actually thought that scene was pretty effective on all counts. Larigo, like the stupid gremlin ripoff he is, rushes in before the Rangers can think of a plan. What are you doing? This ain't Harry and the Hendersons. Get back here! After the bad guys get what they want, they supposedly drop off the former Rangers in the ocean. But surprise, surprise, the villains double-cross them.
Double rocks and revel!
Divatox is still unable to use the golden key herself, but she is convinced that she can make Larigo use it when the time comes, and heads off to the Nemesis Triangle.
Once we get to the island of Maranthius on the other side...
Great, now we're gonna spend the next 30 minutes watching her try to deal with that fly, when all we really want is to find out what's going on with Jessie. If Bryan Cranston could have done that, it would have saved us a lot of headaches in the later seasons. We cut back to the command center and see the Rangers in the middle of apparently creating brand new Zords and suits. Why? It's never explained.
They're just ordinary cars.
No, Tanya. They are extraordinary cars.
Yeah, but they're still cars. Why are these more suitable to handling whatever the Nemesis Triangle is over, say, the Super Zeo Megazord? It has the word super in the name. Each Ranger gets a matching car and name for said car.
And Tommy, Red Lightning will serve you well.
Why, that car is Systematic, Hydromatic, Ultramatic. Why, it's Red Lightning!
We'll get some overhead lifters and 4-barrel.
Okay, I'll stop that.
But what about Rocky's?
The Mountain Blaster will stay behind for now.
Remember, at this point in the movie, Rocky got injured 30 minutes ago. And of course, with new Zords comes new suits.
I've never felt anything like this.
Wow, this is great! All right!
This is awesome. Whoa, this is incredible.
Yeah!
And with their team incomplete, without the ability to form the Turbo Megazord if need be, the Rangers ride off to save the day.
Oh man, this is awesome. Desert Thunder ready to rumble.
Wind Chaser ready to howl. Dune Stars gonna shine.
Red Lightning ready to bolt.
All systems go, Tommy.
All right, let's rip some velocity. Shift to the turbo.
But as the Rangers drive off, Zordon welcomes a mysterious stranger as the new Blue Ranger and sends him after the rest of the team. Why exactly didn't Zordon tell the rest of the Rangers about this? Well, I mean, it's not the first time that he's kept a secret for them for the sake of a reveal. I mean, there was the whole White Ranger thing. Of course, it's not a surprise to any of us. We've seen the damn poster. See? He's right there. Right there. The Rangers arrive, seemingly driving all day, at some kind of dock. They were told to come here and load into the powerful ship that would take them and their cars to the Nemesis Triangle.
The Ghost Galleon. It's amazing.
What the fuck is that? That is a pirate ship, an actual pirate ship on the water. When Zordon mentioned a ship, I assumed it was going to be like a battleship, or at least something that could travel in space. Is the Nemesis Triangle on Earth? How does a pirate ship get there, and what makes it so powerful? Why are there so many mixed themes in this movie? Before any of that can be answered, the blue Turbo Zord drives up and we are introduced to the new Blue Ranger.
Rocky?
Wow, cool.
I mean, I'm not even really upset that, like, a kid is a Power Ranger. There is precedent for that. Sentai fans will know that the original show, whose footage was used for the original White Ranger, that being Die Ranger, the White Ranger was a kid who, when he transformed, grew into an adult size. What upsets me is how Justin is recruited. Rocky is out of commission, sure, but he just sends some kid who figures out his identity? Is this the new benchmark of what it takes to become a ranger? Just figure out who they are and then you become one too? It's like catching a leprechaun. Yeah. Catch it and you get all its gold. And Zordon is perfectly fine with this. Clearly he is fine with sending untrained teens into battle, but I thought he would draw the line to kids. Apparently not. Alright, enough ranting on that. We seriously gotta move on. The Rangers load their Zords onto the ship and take a look around. Apparently this is also a ghost ship, so let's add horror to the ever-growing list of themes in this movie. The Rangers soon discover a chest on board. Please, 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 please let it be filled with Ranger keys. Ah, damn it.
Looks like the portal keys also control the ship.
Fine, whatever. I don't even care anymore. So the Rangers crank the pirate ship and they set sail to the Nemesis Triangle, which I guess we can safely say is for some reason on Earth. You guys just had a big old pirate ship just kind of lying around, didn't you? No need to let it go to waste, right? Gotta fill time, right? Back with Divatox and her crew, Elgar detects 5 humans following them, but no ship.
What are they, swimming?
I get that it's a pirate ship, okay? I get that. But either Zordon was dumb enough not to know that they could still track humans despite not tracking the ship that they're on, or Divatox's scanners are just busted beyond compare.
I guess I need fixing.
I guess busted then. Oh, this movie is so frustrating. Undeterred, Divatox send out some weird-looking pods after the Ranger ship. Speaking of, back on the ship, Justin and Kat talk about what's happened.
If my dad only knew. Man, he'd be so proud of me.
Apparently, Justin's father was a former martial artist that abandoned him when his wife died.
And when he does, we can be family again. That's important.
Yeah, it is. But you have to remember that we're your family now too.
Getting a little too ada in here.
Okay, don't stay out here too long. Even Power Rangers need their sleep.
Okay.
I wonder if the FBI can raid a pirate ship. While Justin processes all the strange new feelings he has, the pods launched earlier start to hatch into some actually creepy looking creatures. The creatures attempt to sneak up on Justin, but Justin notices them and quickly fights back. You want to hear something really depressing? This kick comes around 48 minutes and 56 seconds into the movie. That's how long it took for somebody to fight a monster in a Power Rangers movie. But to be fair, it's a better record than the 2017 one. Justin gets help from the other Rangers, and we get our obligatory unmorphed fight. They didn't even try to make it look like that connected. The Rangers are super limited on what they can do in this fight, mostly as a result from having to fight on a damn pirate ship. So it's mostly a gimmick fight using less actual martial arts and more props. It's dumb and a little pointless, but luckily it's short. Both the Rangers and Divatox arrive at the Nemesis Triangle. I mean, if it's gonna be on Earth anyway, why not just say Bermuda? And after a lot of filler and a lot of poor effects, both groups make it through and travel to the island somewhere in another dimension. While we're talking about filler, I figure I should bring up a little side story that I've kind of been glossing over a bit. While all this was going on, Jason and Kimberly were attempting to escape from Divatox's ship. The reason I glossed over this a bit was just most of the scenes were just kind of cutaways, the two saying how bad their situation was. And I really didn't want to talk about Jason's earring, which he has for some reason now and wears while scuba diving. Long story short, Jason and Kimberly open a latch in the brig, swim through the ship, and get flushed, all resulting in Kimberly escaping, but not Jason. Oh, and Bulk and Skull are there.
You are speaking to us?
Who is this?
Bulk and Skull.
And they are now foreign for some reason. Getting back on track, at least as much as you can with this movie, when Divatox surfaces at the island, she has informed the Rangers have followed her.
This is impossible. Our radar is detecting 5 human life forms approaching the island.
I knew they wouldn't let me down, Divatox.
What the hell are you wearing? What is wrong with this movie? Divatox is getting frustrated and reaches out for help on her Power Ranger problem.
Hi, Rita. Dee here.
Huh? Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. I forgot about the time change.
Now listen, I know you had some experience in this matter.
I need your advice. How do I get rid of the Power Rangers?
What? The Power Rangers? If I knew that, do you think I'd be lying here listening to this? My advice to you, Divatox, run!
Best scene in the movie. I know it doesn't seem like much, but it really is. On the island itself, Kimberly has been washed up and is approached by some friendly natives.
What are you doing?
You guys ever seen Cannibal Holocaust? Adam goes ahead first to do some scouting, but Divatox launches a few torpedoes at the Ranger's ship.
Our cover's blown. Something's coming toward us.
What? Cover? You're in a giant pirate ship! The Rangers make to their cars as the ship blows up.
No.
Judging from the rest of this movie, I assume that's where all the budget went.
Looks like we all got through.
That honestly probably would have been more suspenseful if we didn't see them going for their Zords. Nearby, I assume, Divatox and her crew come across the natives themselves. It's revealed that they are guardians of the Temple of Malagor. Divatox forces Larigo to reveal his power to gain the natives' worship. Also, they bring Kimberly with them, making the whole escape storyline completely pointless. With Divatox finally gaining access to the portal needed to summon Malagor, the Rangers figure it's finally time to shift into turbo.
Shift to the turbo.
Yeah. Oops. Mountain Blaster, turbo power.
Desert Thunder turbo power.
Dune Star, turbo power. Wind Chaser, turbo power.
Red Lightning turbo power. Let's do it.
Right.
The interesting thing about this movie is that while they do use the show-accurate suits, no Sentai footage is actually used for this movie, which is probably why there's not a great deal of suit fighting. I was also confused by the confusing wording of the opening title crawl. Divatox does not want to marry Larigol and get access to the key, she wants to marry Malagor, which honestly makes so much more sense about the only thing that does make sense in this movie. The Rangers race in search of Larigo and their friends, and Justin comes across a hidden entrance to the temple.
Hey, did we miss the party?
The Rangers show up and the fight is on. It's a very substandard fight, especially considering how long we've waited. The 27 version was a bit more exciting. Unfortunately, the Rangers are not able to save their friends from being lowered into the pit. But instead of being melted or burned alive, they become apostles of Malagor. Okay, now things are getting interesting. Ranger versus Ranger, friend versus friend.
You've got to find the evil.
Evil is like evil does.
Let's do this.
I don't have any friends. Oh yeah, and sweetie, pink is out.
Come on, Ranger!
No, I don't want to hurt you.
Throw him in the fire! Throw him in the fire! Yes, into the fire.
Now I'm the one with the muscles and the power!
Wow, I'm actually really getting into this. This is a fight that's really been a long time coming. I mean, two former leaders, Jason dethroned by Tommy long ago. It's like classic pro wrestling booking. Tommy is in a bit of a pickle, but is able to counter Jason. Larigo and his wife are able to heal Kimberly from her brainwashing, and she helps to save Jason from falling in again. Later on, they're also able to heal Jason in turn. With no more sacrifices, Divatox throws Elgar in the pit. So all of that about needing 2 pure sacrifices was just all bull. Okay, is anything in this movie consistent or needed? With the sacrifice completed, Malagor is finally revealed.
Get ready to take this freak.
It's worth noting at this point that Malagor has no Sentai equivalent. He is a pure invention of the movie and is never mentioned after this. However, his suit is used as the Dark Spectre in Power Rangers in Space, so it's assumed that they're related somehow. The Rangers bust out their new weapons, but it is immediately apparent that they are no match for Malagor. The Rangers retreat to their Zords as Malagor gets bigger. We then get what is a rare sight for Power Rangers, a Megazord combination that is purely original.
Initiate docking sequence, now!
The best thing about this is that, other than a few effects and details, it's purely practical, unlike that abortion of a Megazord from the Mighty Morphin movie. The ending fight gives off a real 2017 vibe, that being that all the cool Power Ranger shit is at the end.
Ready to fly?
Ready!
Alright! Engage Mega Turbojets! Now!
Turbojets, full power!
Later, Flame Face!
The Rangers defeat Malagor, a bit too easily, and the day is saved. This movie is so frustrating. Anything cool ends way too soon, and it's just an hour and a half of just fluff and confusing plot. But unfortunately, we are not done yet, as we're back at Angel Grove for the charity martial arts tournament. What is even happening here? First, why is this even in a ring? I know you can sometimes see fights like this in a traditional ring, like with ropes, but normally you would want that in like a big open space, especially when they're for some reason doing 3-on-3 matches. And how exactly are they scoring points? It can't be by knocking the other guy over, because Adam gets knocked down and he gets right back up and no points are scored by anyone. Despite that, it is cool to see Jason back in the mix, as he has replaced Rocky as part of this tournament. The Angel Grove team win and they're able to save the shelter or whatever, and the movie closes on this high point. This movie sucks like a lot. I fully understand liking it as a Power Rangers fan. I got some entertainment value out of it too, but as a movie, it's just bad. Justin didn't even get a character arc where he struggles to be the new Ranger and learn from the team or any of that. He just kind of disappears for most of the movie and instantly puts on the suit and becomes one of the team. This movie is a blatant cash grab, and it really shows, budget-wise, script-wise, and effects-wise. While I do appreciate them using the show-accurate suits and Zords, it was clear that that was meant to be more of a cost-saving measure than anything else. Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, is by far the worst of the 3 Power Rangers movies, but unfortunately it does play an integral part of the show's canon, so it still deserves a place, however reluctantly, on the shelf of any Power Rangers fan. I want to thank you for watching this video. This is The One Nerd, and that's just been my opinion. Hello all, I want to thank you for watching this, my newest movie review for Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. I hope to be moving away from Power Rangers for at least a little bit. I know I took a little deviation to do Us, but I want to take a break from Power Rangers for a bit. I was planning on doing the Power Rangers stage show at some point, but I think I'm going to do a few more varied reviews before I get to that, just so I don't have this whole thing just be a Power Rangers channel. I do appreciate anyone watching at this point for the reviews. I know that I don't have a consistent schedule, and I know that a lot of people more than likely are here more for my light novel audiobooks than they are for just the reviews, but this is really what I want to do, you know, and I want to keep it more consistent, but you know, with my real job and everything like that, you know, I just don't always have time to do that. And of course, my living situation means that I can't always record all the time. If I had a different living situation, which I do hope to be in the next couple months, I'll be able to record more consistently and do it more every day instead of just the weekends. So if I hope that you'll be patient with me while I improve my videos, and I hope that I've already made some improvements to my videos. I hope that every day in every video I hope to be better and better and better until I become the kind of reviewer that people do want to support and people do want to watch and get excited for, because that's all I've ever wanted to do, is just entertain people. If you're curious about any of my other work, I am actually a writer, or do want to be a screenwriter. You can actually check out my portfolio and all of my spec scripts and my pilot scripts at my website at theonenerd.com. That's theonenerd.com. I also have other stuff like there, like links to all my videos and all that sort of thing, just random stuff that I'll put up there. I am hoping to commission some art to kind of make the website look prettier, but that's more of a future thing. If you want to follow me on Twitter and just, I don't know, send me like a tweet or see the stupid things that I tweet, you can check out my Twitter at @the_1_nerd. And if you'd like to drop me a line for any reason, you know, to say hi or say how much you appreciate or or maybe like suggest something, suggest a review, suggest a video or something like that, or if you have maybe a business inquiry for a writer or something like that, you know, then you can email me at contact@theonenerd.com. I want to thank you once again for watching this video, and I especially want to thank you for watching up to this point. I know that my videos can be a lot, and you know, just watching at this point, I really do appreciate it. If you did like the video, I would ask that you do like and of course subscribe for more. And if you didn't like it, I would hope that you'd leave a comment telling me why you didn't like it and what I can do to improve my process. But whether you liked it or you hate it, I do hope that you got something out of this, and honestly, I do hope you have a great rest of your day.